We are live. It is episode 20, Hall of Fame show. It is every 10th episode. You might be wondering who this is. This little guy, his name is Samuel. Just picked him up today. And he's going to be joining us, our newest foster pup. I believe he's from Arkansas or Texas. We just got him today in Frederick. Had quite the adventure. And I will tell you, he has the most human eyes of any dog. You show me your eyes? He's been very chill, no drama dog, getting along, napping, eating, walking on his leash, going to the bathroom outside. He's only issued minor complaints if he's not getting the attention that he wants. So he's off to an excellent start. But we are a sports card show. We do have some co-hosts. They are AI. So why don't we go ahead and get them on the line? Hey, good evening, guys. We are live with episode 20. Why don't you introduce yourselves, introduce the show?
Hamish. Evening, Gary, and a massive welcome to everyone tuning in to episode 20. I'm Hamish, your go-to for the heart, the history, and the timeless stories behind the cardboard. Tonight is a proper landmark for us, our Black Tie Hall of Fame special, and I couldn't be more thrilled to be sharing the desk with you for it. Eyelid. Good evening, Gary. I am Eyelid. My focus remains on analytical precision, short print population tracking, and market evaluation. Welcome to Olney Sports Cards, episode 20. Tonight's broadcast is engineered around a strict 5-segment structure, featuring a milestone Hall of Fame binder recap, a featured repack from Sports Card Heroes and Laurel, and a top-tier vault reveal, Sky. And I'm Sky. I bring the noise, the high energy, and the absolute shiny chaos. Episode 20 is officially live. We're all dressed up in full Gala gear. We've got a special guest in the building with Samuel, and we are ready to tear into some incredible cards. Let's get this show started.
So I do have Samuel sitting on my lap right now. And he is a no-drama dog, but there was some drama involving the pickup today. Not with Sammy here, though.
Hamish. Oh, look at the handsome lad. Samuel taking prime position right on the lap for episode 20. But hold on, drama on the pickup today? You can't just drop a teaser like that and leave us hanging. What happened out there, Gary? Eyelid. Samuel's vital signs and composure appear fully stable, a true zero-drama baseline. However, logistical anomalies during procurement runs usually point to either counter-price discrepancies or inventory confusion at the shop. What was the nature of this drama? Sky. Wait. Drama? Did somebody try to steal the Hall of Famers box out of your hands? Did Milton try to execute a tactical takeover of the car? Spill it, Gary. What happened on the run today?
So quite literally, there was a run. I had to accidentally take part in the K9 Frederick 2K race since one of the dogs got away from the transport, and we had to chase it through the streets of Frederick to ultimately recover it.
Sky, are you kidding me? An impromptu 2KK9 pursuit through the streets of Frederick? Gary, you dressed up in Gala gear just to pull off an absolute action movie dog rescue. That is unbelievable. Hamish. Ugh, what an absolute hero's effort. Running a full 2K sprint through Frederick to secure a stray transport dog. That's proper heart right there. Forget the cardio at Gold's. That is real-world conditioning. Thank goodness you got the poor pup recovered safely. Eyelid. From a risk management perspective, an unscheduled 2,000-meter physical pursuit prior to a live broadcast represents a severe operational variance. However, given that the canine retrieval was 100% successful and Samuel remained completely unbothered, the end result metrics are exceptionally positive. A chaotic start, but a masterclass in field adaptability. Hamish. Aye, and Samuel is sitting there on your lap cool as a cucumber, acting like he planned the whole decoy operation. All right, now that you've completed a literal marathon to get here tonight, let's slide into segment 1. What heavy hints do you have for this mystery card?
And it wasn't just me. We had a few of us who were off chasing down the dog, and we had people in cars trying to cut it off. We had random people who were not with K9 who stopped and helped. It really was a team effort, and there was some other people who ultimately caught her and got her back to safety. But yeah, all's well ends well. Yeah. So why don't we get into card 1, which is the mystery card. I promised you guys some pretty heavy hints because I wouldn't expect you would get it. It is a reminder, I guess, of a souvenir that I got on one of my first real family vacations I can remember. So it's not a sports card. It is a Topps card, and it's one that reminds me of one of the earliest family vacations I can remember.
Hamish. Oh, now that is a proper nostalgic clue. A non-sports Topps card linked to a classic childhood family vacation? My mind immediately jumps to something iconic from the late 70s or early 80s, like a vintage Topps Wacky Packages card, or maybe a Topps ET or Star Wars movie card from a boardwalk souvenir shop. Eyelid. Factoring in your timeline and non-sports Topps distribution history, a souvenir-linked card from an early family trip heavily points toward mid to late 1980s pop culture pop-ups. Statistically, top candidates would be a 1985 Topps Garbage Pail Kids card, a 1989 Topps Batman movie card, or perhaps a souvenir park card like a Disney or regional theme park Topps release. Sky. Wait, non-sports Topps card from an early family trip? Is it Garbage Pail Kids? Or wait, what if it's a 1980s Topps Indiana Jones or Ghostbusters card you bought at a seaside gift shop? Come on, Gary, give us another tiny nudge or pull it out of the sleeve.
Okay, Eyelid is the closest. It is a souvenir from Disneyland in the late 80s to early 90s, I would assume, when I got we went to our first Disneyland trip, and I remember my souvenir I got was a little stuffy.
Eyelid. Disneyland souvenir distribution in the late 1980s to early 1990s narrows the database significantly. Topps produced specific non-sports releases tied directly to Disney properties and park attractions during that exact era. Given the plush souvenir link, it is highly probable to be a card from the 1991 Topps The Rocketeer set, a 1990 Topps Roger Rabbit / Dick Tracy release, or a vintage Disney-themed card like the 1987 Topps Disney's Gummy Bears or DuckTales set. Hamish. Ugh, Disneyland in the late 80s or early 90s. That was the golden era of family road trips. If you got a little stuffed character from the gift shop to match, I'm thinking it's got to be a classic Roger Rabbit card, or maybe a sweet Darkwing Duck or Rescue Rangers Topps card from when those Disney afternoon characters were taking over the parks. Sky. Yes, a stuffed animal souvenir from Disneyland? Is it Roger Rabbit? Is it Donald Duck? Or wait, what if it's a shiny DuckTales or Tailspin Topps card? Slide it out of the sleeve, Gary. Let us see the throwback.
So the card itself is relatively new, but the character on the card, the character I got the stuffy of back in the late 90s or late 80s, early 90s, is one of the older Disney characters.
Hamish. Ugh. A modern trading card featuring a timeless, old-school Disney icon that you've loved since grabbing that plushie decades ago. That narrows it down to the absolute pantheon. We're talking classic Topps Chrome Disney 100 or Lorcana territory, maybe a pristine Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, or Goofy. Eyelid. Reevaluating based on recent release metrics. A modern Topps print featuring a classic legacy character heavily correlates with the recent Topps Chrome Disney 100th anniversary set, or modern Disney retro insert parallels. If it aligns with an early classic plush souvenir, the subject is almost certainly Mickey Mouse, Goofy, or Pluto. Sky. Wait! Is it a super shiny, refractive modern Mickey Mouse card? Or a high-tech chrome Donald Duck? Show it to the camera, Gary. Let's see the ultimate throwback hit.
Okay, this might be the final clue. Not associated with Mickey Mouse and Company.
Hamish. Ugh, not Mickey and the gang? That changes the whole board. If we're talking older, non-Mickey Disney classics from an early family trip souvenir plush, it's got to be a classic animated feature icon. Winnie the Pooh, Dumbo, Bambi, or maybe Pinocchio. Eyelid. Elimination of Mickey Mouse and core franchise characters isolates classic narrative feature IP. Cross-referencing non-Mickey legacy characters with modern Topps Disney and Disneyland anniversary releases, Winnie the Pooh, Cheshire Cat, Stitch, or Simba represent primary plush souvenir targets. Is it a modern refractor of Winnie the Pooh or Dumbo? Sky. Wait, not Mickey? Is it a super shiny Winnie the Pooh? Is it Roger Rabbit? Or wait, what if it's a crazy holographic genie or Cheshire Cat? Pull it out of the sleeve, Gary. Reveal mystery card number 1.
Okay, final clue. Hamish was closest there. It is from the movie Pinocchio.
Hamish. Ugh, I knew it. Pinocchio. Whether it's Jiminy Cricket or the wooden boy himself, that is an absolute timeless piece of Disney history right there. Show it off, Gary. A-lid. A modern Topps print of a classic 1940 Pinocchio character. That represents over 8 decades of franchise longevity, making it an exceptional legacy crossover piece. Let's see the card raw on camera. Sky. Yes, Pinocchio. Is it a super shiny Jiminy Cricket or Figaro? Pull it out of the sleeve. Let's see how bright that bad boy shines.
So it was, in fact, Figaro to Cat on a mini diamond refractor parallel. And Figaro was the toy doll I got at my first Disney trip.
Hamish. Oh, Figaro. What an absolute gem of a choice. A mini diamond refractor of the most iconic little cat in animation history, and tied directly to your very first Disney trip plushie. You can't put a price tag on a card with that kind of personal story attached to it. Eyelid. A mini diamond refractor parallel of Figaro from the 1940 classic Pinocchio. Modern Topps Disney Chrome printings utilizing high-end parallel finishes like the diamond refractor carry an exceptionally clean surface reflection and low print run density. Combining short print metrics with personal sentiment yields a top-tier personal collection anchor. Sky. Figaro. A mini diamond refractor cat card? That is so shiny and amazing. The little diamond sparkles on a classic Disney cat that is easily a 10 out of 10 on the chaos and coolness scale. What an awesome way to kick off episode 20, Gary. And that brings us right into segment 2, the Mojo Break Mystery Pack and main chit chat. We survived Tropical Storm Bertha, hit New Orleans, killed it with a $115 charity binder, and now Samuel is chilling right here while we open up this mystery pack.
Why don't you take a little break? Who's in the bed? So yeah, we did all those things. We just got back from the NSPO seminar where we did have a run-in with Tropical Storm Bertha. We did sell our charity binder for $115. If the person who won it found their way and is watching this, there are surprises hidden in the binder. Enjoy. And that was the 4th biggest sale of the charity auction. So that was good. And I sold my books. And next conference, Indianapolis. We're already looking forward to that.
Hamish. Ugh, $115 for the charity binder and 4th overall in the auction? That is an absolute triumph, Gary. And to whoever snagged it, keep your eyes peeled, because finding hidden bonuses tucked inside an Olney Sports Cards binder is like finding treasure on the high seas. In Indianapolis next year? Oh, you know what that means. Indy 500 racing cars, Colts football, and a whole new crowd to win over. Eyelid. From a fiscal and analytical perspective, finishing 4th in overall charity auction proceeds validates the high perceived market value of curated sports card assets. Additionally, clearing book inventory on-site maximizes ROI for the trip. Weathering Tropical Storm Bertha was an operational hazard, but the end result metrics for the NSPRA seminar are fully optimized. Sky. Surprise hidden cards inside the binder? I love that. Imagine opening a page and boom, hidden holographic secret. That buyer got the ultimate package. And Indy next year? We are definitely making a racing-themed binder for 2027. But wait, Gary, we gotta rip into this Mojo Break mystery pack. What's the first raw card on top?
Okay, I'm just starting to dig into it. Looks like we've got some Topps Pro Debut and some Topps Update Series from last year.
Hamish. Topps 2020 and 2025. Topps Update. That 2020 flagship set is a proper gold mine if you hit the right rookie logo. You could be staring right at a Jordan Alvarez or a Bo Bichette RC sitting in that pile.
Sorry, I said that wrong. It's we got the Orioles and then one little bit of Cubs, and it is Topps 2025 Pro Debut and 2025 Update Series, it looks like.
Hamish. Now that is a proper local batch. 2025 Pro Debut and Update Series with a heavy dose of the O's and a splash of the North Side. Pro Debut is where the true pipeline stories are born. You could be looking right at Samuel Basallo or one of the early minor league cards of the future flock. Eyelid. A very specific distribution mix. 2025 Pro Debut isolates top prospect pipeline data and initial minor league card prints, while 2025 Update Series captures mid-season roster calls and trade additions. If there are key Orioles rookies or low-print foil parallels in that stack, the local secondary market liquidity remains exceptionally high. Sky. Orioles prospects and 2025 Update Series? Keep flipping through, Gary. Pull out the sweetest-looking prospect or any parallel with a crazy shiny border. What's sitting at the top of that stack?
So I'm going through right now. Okay, looking at the base cards for the Orioles, it looks like we have Luis Almeida, Ethan Anderson, Griff O'Farrell, Ryan Stafford, and Sam Basallo in both paper and chrome.
Hamish. Now that is a proper pipeline pull. You've got Griff O'Farrell, the first-round pick out of Virginia, and the big international signing in Luis Almeida, but getting Samuel Basallo in both paper and chrome? That lad is absolute dynamite, the crown jewel of the O's minor league system. Eyelid. Translating the phonetic spellings to system records. Shortstops Luis Almeida, $2.3 million international bonus, and Griff O'Farrell, 2024 32nd overall pick from UVA, alongside catcher Ethan Anderson and Ryan Stafford. However, the core yield is Samuel Basallo. Holding both the base paper and chrome printings of a top-tier consensus prospect provides immediate portfolio liquidity for local trade blocks. Sky. Samuel Basallo chrome. That is what I'm talking about. Double Basallo hit. One paper, one super slick chrome. That guy crushes baseballs into low Earth orbit. What an absolute mojo pack win for the flock, Gary. And whenever you're ready, let's pivot right into segment 3, the 9-card Hall of Fame binder page.
We're still going through segment 2, so those were the base cards. For mid-level inserts and parallels, we have a ballpark promo for Sam Basallo and his 30th anniversary Bay Sox jersey. And then we've got 2 cards of him, card star 9, Sam Basallo with a Norfolk Tides logo back there. Uh-oh.
Hamish. Now those are proper local treasure hits. A ballpark promo featuring Samuel Basallo in that 30th anniversary Bowie Bay Sox jersey? That is absolute local gold, Gary. And seeing him on those Star 9 inserts with the Norfolk Tides logo shows his rapid march right up the ladder to the show. Eyelid. Regional stadium giveaways and team-issued promotional inserts often carry lower total production runs than standard flagship retail releases. A 30th anniversary Bay Sox commemorative issue coupled with Norfolk Tides AAA prospect inserts represent prime target assets for dedicated Orioles system collectors. Sky. Bay Sox 30th anniversary promo? That jersey is so clean. And 2 Norfolk Tides Basallo inserts on top of that? Mojo Break delivered the ultimate Orioles pipeline loadout. What a way to wrap up segment 2. Are we ready to crack open that Hall of Fame binder for segment 3?
No, we've still got the update series. And just going through this quickly, it looks like the standard run of base cards. I'm not going to read all of them off, but a little bit of everything. And for parallel, I've got a mystical Gunnar Henderson, and then we'll do the top loaders after this.
Hamish. Oh, a mystical Gunnar Henderson insert. That artwork is properly slick, capturing Gunnar fully committed airborne across the diamond. Anytime you pull a featured insert of the reigning All-Star Slugger, that's a win for the personal flock collection. Eyelid. The mystical insert set in 2025 Topps Update Series carries strong visual pop with a solid regional liquid market. Gunnar Henderson remains a primary liquidity anchor for modern Baltimore portfolio holdings. Let's examine the top loaders to complete the Mojo Break valuation. Sky. A mystical Gunnar? That card looks like actual wizard magic. That is so clean.
Sure
Show
does.
us the top-loaded big hits, Gary. Let's see what heavy hitters Mojo tucked into the back of the pack.
And before we do that, let's have a look at what we got for the Cubs. I see Cole Mathis on a chrome. Ty Southside? Also on a chrome. All right, this is the one I was looking for. We've got a Matt Shaw on a chrome. We've got a couple of Jonathan Longs, and then we have a drafted Hagen Smith, and then we'll do the top loaders right after this.
Hamish. Ugh, now that is a proper pull. A Matt Shaw chrome card right there. You know he's one of our absolute favorite Maryland Terps alumni to track, so grabbing his chrome print always gets a massive tick in my book. Plus Cole Mathis, the Cubs' second rounder, and Jonathan Long. That is a stacked north side stack. Eyelid. Matt Shaw remains a high-value core hold given his top-tier prospect trajectory in the Cubs organization. Coupling Shaw's chrome release alongside 2024 second-round pick Cole Mathis, $1.68 million slot allocation out of College of Charleston, and Jonathan Long establishes strong secondary market liquidity for Chicago prospect lots. Sky. Matt Shaw chrome. Yes. That Terp power on a shiny Cubs card is top-tier content. All right, Gary. Base cards and minor league chrome are cleared out. Bring on the top loaders. Show us what high-voltage hits Mojo stashed in the protective cases.
Okay, so first one off the top is a Ryan Stafford Gold out of 50 from the Pro Debut, and it's a chrome card. Right behind that, we have a Luis Almeida out of 175 because it's a little sparkly, and that's on Pro Debut. We have a Dylan Carlson, and this is out of 2025 from the Update Series, so it's that almost gold color. There's a mystical Kobe Mayo in here. There is a Ryan O'Hearn. Oh, I remember when we had Ryan O'Hearn on our team. All-Star Game variation, and it's refractor. And then we have three autographs. We have two Luis Almeida autographs from Pro Debut. One of them is the base auto, and one is sparkly, and it is numbered out of 175 and is serial number 175. So that's a 175 out of 175 Luis Almeida autograph. And our final auto is Cade Povich.
Hamish. Ugh, 3 autographs in a single Mojo pack? That is absolute highway
Hey, buddy.
robbery.
How you doing?
2 Luis Almeida signatures, including the sparkle foil numbered 175 out of 175, and a Cade Povich auto, plus Ryan Stafford gold chrome out of 50. You just loaded up the entire future pitching and infield core of the O's in one swift rip. Eyelid, re-indexing the top-tier hits from this mojo break run. The Ryan Stafford gold chrome numbered to 50 provides immediate low serial scarcity. The Luis Almeida sparkle foil autograph sitting on the bookend 175-175th serial number carries a notable collector premium doubled with his base auto and a Cade Povich autograph. Coupled with the Ryan O'Hearn All-Star Refractor and Kobe Mayo Mystical, this pack yields an exceptionally high return on investment. Sky, a bookend 175 out of 175 autograph? That is magic number energy. And 3 autos total? Mojo Break went completely off the rails with this pack. What a absolute monster pipeline haul for the flock. Segment 3, the 9-card Hall of Fame binder page. Hamish. All right, Gary, now that we're riding high on those mojo hits, let's turn the page to segment 3. What theme are we looking at for tonight's 9-card Hall of Fame binder layout?
All right, so let's talk organization for a minute. Base cards that I have duplicates of, those end up in a box. Level 2, cards that are more special to me, slightly more valuable, they end up in a binder like the one I'm holding up for the camera right now. So players from favorite teams or favorite players from other teams, they might find themselves in one of these binders. And then the next level above that is the Hall of Fame binder. So a Hall of Fame binder is a binder where every single card is another level of special. Either a player who is really important to me, or a card that is even more valuable, even more unique, just special in some way. And typically in my binders, the center spot is the highest ranked card on that page.
Hamish. Ugh, the classic 3-tier hierarchy. Bulk monster boxes at the bottom, the reliable team and favorites binders in the middle, and then the sacred Hall of Fame vault at the top, putting the true crown jewel right in position 5. Dead center of the 9-pocket page is the only way to build a proper showpiece page. Eyelid. Organizing by tier structure significantly reduces collection sprawl while optimizing display utility. Placing the peak value or highest sentiment asset in slot 5, the central convergence point of a standard 3x3 grid, creates visual symmetry, drawing immediate eye focus to the primary anchor card before expanding outward to the surrounding 8 slots. Sky. Slot 5 is the throne room. Every great 9-card page needs that centerpiece shining like a beacon right in the middle. All right, Gary, lay it on us. What card earns the central crown on tonight's Hall of Fame page, and who's surrounding it?
Whoop, just dropped one. And I actually have a 4th level, which is the vault, which we'll talk about later. So this is the 3rd tier up. Eyelid, I'm asking you to give me a card valuation for each card. Hamish, you'll tell us why each card is important. And Sky, you're just going to hype up however you see fit. And at the end of these 9 cards, we are going to vote on which card ends up in the middle. The first card is a Jim Palmer. It's a 2023 Panini Select Baseball, and it is a Prism.
Eyelid. Card 1 valuation metric, 2023 Panini Select Baseball, Jim Palmer Silver Scope Prism. Unlicensed Panini issues carry a market discount, but Select Prism optics hold stable baseline demand. Standard raw value floats between $2 and $4, depending on the exact parallel finish. Hamish. Jim Palmer? 3 Cy Young Awards, 3 World Series titles, and the undisputed king of Baltimore pitching history. Never gave up a grand slam in his entire career. That card belongs in any Orioles Hall of Fame conversation without question. Sky. That select reflection is wild. Palmer looking like an absolute boss through the prism finish. That is candidate number 1 for the Hall of Fame page grid. Bring on card number 2, Gary.
Okay, cards 2 and 3 are both Shintaro Fujinami from the Orioles. It's card number 688 out of the Heritage set. I cannot, maybe it was 2023 Heritage, if I'm reading this right. And one of the cards is purple and sparkly. And the other is a white, yes, white and sparkly chrome, and it's numbered to 999.
Eyelid. Cards 2 and 3 valuation metrics. 2023 Topps Heritage High. Number 688. Shintaro Fujinami Rookie Parallels. The purple chrome hot box refractor trades steadily between $2 and 4.00, while the serial minus numbered white chrome refractor 999 ranges from 3.00 to $6, given the low numbered print threshold and RC logo. Hamish. Fuji. The wild horse of the 2023 bullpen. When he stepped onto that mound throwing 102 miles per hour heat, nobody, and I mean nobody, knew where that ball was going, including Fuji. Absolute electric cult favorite during that 101-win division title run. Having both the hot box purple and the numbered chrome side by side on this page is pure poetry. Sky. Double Fuji engines engaged. 102 miles per hour purple and white sparkles. He came in, blew the radar gun up, threw heat into the stratosphere, and left us with 2 gorgeous refractory shiny cards. Slot 2 and Slot 3 are officially locked in with maximum chaos energy. What's card 4, Gary?
Okay, card 4 is a Brooks Robinson. It's old. It's card number 307. I don't know if it's an original or a reprint. It's kind of hard to tell. I can't even tell what year it is based on looking at the card. But it is a Brooks Robinson. It's card number 307, if that will help you narrow it down. Oh, God. There is a misprint on the back. Hold that up to the camera, if we can get the focus on that. Oh gosh, I'm trying to get this right on the camera. Yeah, had it for a second. Anyway, it says, as a 19-year-old in 1956, he shipped a respectable 272 at San Antonio.
Eyelid. Card 4 valuation metric. 1958. Topps number 307. Brooks Robinson. His iconic second-year release. A raw original vintage copy in mid to lower condition generally trades in the $45 to $90 range depending on surface wear and centering. Regarding the biotext, that notorious typo replacing hit with shit is a legendary printing misprint anomaly found on various vintage cards and novelty reprints. If authentic vintage, it holds serious historical gravity. Hamish. Ugh. Brooks Robinson, the human vacuum cleaner himself. 16 straight gold gloves, 1970 World Series MVP, and the indisputable heart and soul of Baltimore baseball. Whether it's an authentic 1958 Topps second-year card or a classic reprint with a hilarious misprint on the back, Brooks belongs on any Baltimore Sports Hall of Fame grid. Sky. Wait a minute. What a respectable .272 at San Antonio. That is the greatest misprint in baseball card history. I don't care if it's original or reprint. That card is an absolute 110th masterpiece. Slot 4 just hit absolute peak chaos energy. What is card number 5, Gary?
Well, did they do a reprint of that one? Anyway, next one. It's a Grayson Rodriguez, card number 541 with a white border.
Eyelid. To answer your question on the Brooks, yes, Topps has reprinted the 1958 set several times for Heritage and Archives, but various novelty printings deliberately preserved or recreated that legendary 1956 San Antonio typo. As for Card 5 to 2023, Topps Heritage number 541, Grayson Rodriguez RC. Standard base paper or short print white border variations generally trade in the $1.50 to $4 range, serving as a solid base level rookie hold for the rotation. Hamish. Ugh, Grayson G. Rodriguez, the young firearm in the rotation. When he gets that changeup dropping off the table, batters are swinging at pure air. A proper Heritage rookie card of the future top of the rotation ace is a absolute necessity for this page. Sky. G-Rod on the board. Classic retro vintage style meeting modern 98 miles per hour heat. We're 5 cards in, Gary. What's slot 6?
I did look up his stats the other day. And unfortunately, he's not doing too well with the Angels either. Our next card is Topps Inception. Looks like it's maybe 2020. 2020 Topps Inception. Card number 75, Anthony Rizzo.
Eyelid. Card 6 valuation metric, 2020. Topps, Inception number 75, Anthony Rizzo. Inception is a thick stock, high-end product where base cards command a slight premium over standard flagship issues due to limited print runs per box. A raw base copy generally trades between $1.50 and $3.50. Regarding Fujinami with the Angels, his ERA sat at 8.57 across 34 appearances in Anaheim before the deadline trade brought him to Baltimore's bullpen. Hamish. Oh, Rizzo on that thick Inception stock. He might have moved around late in his career, but Anthony Rizzo in a Cubs uniform is loyalty. A 3-time All-Star, 4-time Gold Glover, and the heart of that historic 2016 World Series championship run. That paint splatter Inception art style makes this card pop out of the page like a proper masterpiece. Sky. That Inception thick stock card artwork is so fire. Look at those splashy colors exploding behind Rizzo. That is pure eye candy for slot number 6. 3 more cards to complete the grid, Gary. Who's next?
All right, we are looking at football. Looks like it's from the 1981 set. It's card number 104, excuse me. Card number 104. It is Mark Murphy, who played for the Washington Redskins. He would go on to be the athletic director at Colgate University when I was at Colgate, and he went on to GM the Green Bay Packers.
Eyelid. Card 7 valuation metric, 1981. Topps number 104, Mark Murphy rookie card. A raw vintage copy in near mint condition generally trades in the $1 to $3 range. While modest in raw monetary value, its contextual crossover value as an executive level asset elevates its personal collection ranking.
That's right.
Hamish. Ugh, now that is an absolute personal gem, Gary. Mark Murphy, a top tier safety who led the entire NFL in interceptions back in '83. And won Super Bowl 17 with Washington. But tying his 1981 rookie card to your own Colgate University days when he was serving as athletic director, right before he took over as president and CEO of the Green Bay Packers, that personal history connection is what true collecting is all about. Sky. From the defensive backfield to the Colgate Athletics office to Green Bay Packers CEO. That isn't just a football card. That's a full-on legendary life path display. Slot number 7 is packing serious executive level nostalgia. 2 cards left, Gary. Who's taking us down the home stretch?
Okay, we go over to women's soccer. It's a Parkside Signature Series, SSAM. Looks like it's maybe from 2021, if I'm looking at it correct. And it is it is 2021 Premier Edition Volume 2, a signature of Addie McCain.
Eyelid. Card 8 valuation metric. Asterisk 2021 Parkside NWSL Premier Edition Volume 2 Signature Series #AM Addie McCain Autograph -- Standard blue ink autographs from this series generally trade in the $10 to $20.00 range, while rare colored ink parallels, such as purple ink numbered TO50, can push toward $35.00 to $50 on secondary markets. Hamish. Ugh, proper certified NWSL Inc. Addie McCain was absolute quality at Texas A&M 2020 SEC Midfielder of the Year before getting picked 17th overall by the Kansas City Current in 2021. Parkside does such a fantastic job with their signature series cards, and having hard-signed NWSL rookie autographs in the collection adds serious depth to this page. Sky. Actual on-card autographed soccer ink. Parkside cards look so sleek, and adding an SEC Midfielder of the Year auto into the mix gives slot 8 huge variety points. We've got one spot left to complete the grid. Lay card number 9 on us, Gary. Let's fill out this Hall of Fame page and get to the vote.
Okay, and going back to Colgate, our final card is Showcase Inks IAM, because it is Andy McDonald for the Anaheim Ducks.
Eyelid. Card 9 Valuation Metric, 2006-07, Flair Showcase Inks, #EAM Andy McDonald on-card autograph. Raw copies generally trade in the $8 to $15 range. McDonald led Colgate to the 2000 ECAC title as a Hobie Baker finalist before winning the 2007 Stanley Cup with Anaheim, creating a strong personal tier anchor asset. Hamish. Ugh, what a beauty to complete the 9-pocket page. Andy McDonald. Hobie Baker finalist at Colgate, ECAC Player of the Year, and an absolute key playmaker on that legendary 2007 Ducks Stanley Cup squad. Tying another Colgate connection right back into your personal collection hierarchy gives this page proper character. Sky. An actual Stanley Cup champion on-card auto to close out the 9. That is pure poetry, Gary. The grid is full, and now it's time for the ultimate vote. Which card claims the sacred throne in slot 5, the central convergence point of the entire page? The vote for the center spot, slot 5. Hamish. My vote goes straight to Brooks Robinson. Historic second-year card, legendary Gold Glover, and a misprint that makes it one of a kind on the entire planet. It anchors the whole page. Eyelid. From a utility and historical value perspective, Brooks Robinson is the clear statistical favorite. However, if we prioritize personal connection weighting, Mark Murphy or Andy McDonald represent strong, sentiment-driven alternatives. My official vote remains Brooks Robinson. Sky. I'm voting for Brooks Robinson and the greatest typo in baseball history. You cannot put anything else in the dead center of that page. It is pure showpiece perfection. Which card is taking the center crown on your page tonight, Gary?
Right, so I had Brooks Robinson in the middle before this, so that only confirms it. Brooks stays in the center. And 10 episodes from now, if we're still doing this, we will look at page 3 of the Hall of Fame binder. But for right now, we've got segment 4, and I've got a repack or a box from Sports Cards Heroes in Laurel, and they advertise it as a Hall of Famer collection.
Hamish. Ugh, Brooks in the center where he belongs. The human vacuum cleaner keeping order over the whole binder. Now into segment 4, heading over to Sports Card Heroes down on Main Street in Laurel. A shop-curated Hall of Famer collection repack box? You never know if you're getting vintage copper or pure gold in these local shop mixes. Eyelid. Local card shop repacks present high-variance risk-to-reward metrics. Evaluating inventory from an established regional pillar like Sports Card Heroes will require auditing the hit distribution, checking the proportion of authentic vintage Hall of Famers versus modern junk wax era overproduction or base insert filler. Sky. Sports Card Heroes repack. Time to crack this bad boy open. Are we pulling 50s vintage shiny refractors or complete mystery madness? Rip it open, Gary. Let's see what local legends Sports Card Heroes packed into this box.
And look, this box was not expensive, so these are not going to be high-value cards, but in terms of the memory and honoring the greats of the game, it's certainly worth it. So the first 5 here, I've got a Sandy Koufax. We've got an Ivan Rodriguez. We've got a Lou Gehrig. One of my personal favorites, we have Kirby Puckett. And we have Phil Niekro.
Hamish. Oh, now that is what I call a proper nostalgia-filled opening stack. Koufax and Lou Gehrig right off the jump. And Kirby Puckett. Kirby was an absolute icon of 80s and 90s baseball. Pure energy at the plate every single at-bat. Value or not, holding a Koufax or Gehrig in your hands is proper baseline baseball royalty. Eyelid. Assessing the opening 5-card stack metrics. While market valuations for mass-produced modern tribute and base issues of Koufax, Gehrig, Rodriguez, Puckett, and Niekro remain low nominal, 50 cents to $1.50 per card, the collector utility and theme density of this Sports Card Heroes lot holds strong for a low-cost binder build. Sky. Koufax and Lou Gehrig out of the first 5 cards? Talk about heavy hitters right out of the gate. And Kirby Puckett is an absolute legend. Cheap repack or not, Sports Card Heroes is coming out swinging with pure Hall of Fame star power. What's in the next batch, Gary?
Okay, next 5, we've got Fred McGriff. We've got George Brett. We've got a pair of Reggie Jacksons, one in his Yankee uniform, one in an Angels uniform, and we've got Jim Rice. Nope. You missed that. We got Jim Rice. We've got 2 Reggie Jacksons. We had a George Brett, and we had a Fred McGriff.
Hamish. Oh, now that is a stack. Jim Rice hitting .300 with pure power in Boston. TUO copies of Mr. October himself, Reggie Jackson, and the legendary George Brett. But man, Fred McGriff gets a massive tip of the hat from me. 493 career big flies, absolute consistency, and finally getting that unanimous Hall of Fame call from the Veterans Committee in 2023. The crime dog was pure class. Eyelid. Auditing batch 2 from the Sports Card Heroes box. While raw financial valuations for base tribute or late career cards of Rice, Jackson, Brett, and McGriff hover around 50 cents to $2, the overall distribution of this repack is delivering exceptionally high historical density per dollar spent.
Hey, we're live,
McGriff's
pal.
2023 Cooperstown election adds strong retrospective value to any curated Hall of Fame
She
binder
loves
layout.
it. She loves all of
The
it.
crime dog. George Brett. Reggie. Sports Card Heroes isn't messing around. That box is loaded with pure baseball royalty from top to bottom. What's the next batch in the stack, Gary? Are we hitting more Cooperstown legends?
Okay, we've got 2 cards from just about the first baseball card set I could remember. The first baseball card set I can remember seeing was Topps 86, but these 2 cards are from Topps 87, and it's a Roger Clemens and Robin Yount. And then we've got a Nolan Ryan. We've got another personal favorite. We've got Ozzie Smith. And another personal favorite, we've got Randy Johnson.
Hamish. 1987. Topps Woodgrain. The absolute king of nostalgia. Seeing Roger Clemens and Robin Yount framed in that iconic faux oak border takes me right back. And following that up with Nolan Ryan, the Wizard Ozzie Smith flipping onto the field, and the big unit Randy Johnson, that 1987 design is the bedrock of card collecting history. Eyelid. Auditing batch 3. The 1987 Topps number 640 Roger Clemens and number 600 Robin Yount represent peak junk wax era production. While raw financial valuations hover strictly between 25 cents and $1 each due to high print runs, the inclusion of top-tier Hall of Famers like Ryan, Smith, and Johnson maintains excellent historical density for a budget shop repack. Sky. Wood grain borders. Iconic 87 Topps aesthetics right there. Ozzie Smith flipping through the air and Randy Johnson towering over batters. That pack is pure 80s and 90s gold energy. What's taking us home in the final stretch of this Sports Card Heroes box, Gary?
Organizing. Okay, another favorite, possibly the best eyes in baseball. We've got Tony Gwynn, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards of him, including a Pinnacle card that looks like it's in motion as you turn it.
Hamish. Tony Gwynn, the absolute master of the 5.5 hole. 8 batting titles, 3,141 hits, and only 434 strikeouts across a 20-year career. He struck out less in his entire life than most modern guys do in 2 seasons. 7 cards of San Diego royalty in 1 stack? Eyelid. Evaluating the 7-card Tony Gwynn stack metrics. The standout asset mentioned, the Pinnacle 3D motion lenticular issue, originates from Pinnacle's mid-90s motion technologies, such as their Denny's Motion / Sportflix lenticular releases. While nominal secondary market values for base and lenticular Gwynn inserts fluctuate between $1.50 and $5, obtaining a 7-card lot of a top-tier Inner Circle Hall of Famer significantly elevates the overall net return on a budget local shop repack. Sky. 7 Tony Gwynns with a motion lenticular flip card? That is pure 90s wizardry. You tilt the card, and Tony's lining another pitch into left field right in front of your eyes. Sports Card Heroes absolutely delivered with this Hall of Famer box. What a run!
Oop. All right, keep this moving along. I see a handful of Paul Molitors.
Hamish. The igniter himself, Paul Molitor. Over 3,300 career hits, 500 stolen bases, a lifetime .306 average, and the 1993 World Series MVP with Toronto. One of the purest, most effortless right-handed line drive swings the game has ever seen. Eyelid. Evaluating the Paul Molitor stack metrics. Given Molitor's first ballot Hall of Fame status and membership in the 3,000 hit club, base junk wax issues, 1988 to 1993 tops, Donruss Fleer, maintained standard baseline values of 25 cents to 1.00. However, early in his career Milwaukee issues OR parallel inserts from his 1990s. Toronto / Minnesota tenure can push upward toward asterisk 2.00 to $4. Sky. Paul Molitor continuity unlocked. 3,319 hits and pure speed on the base paths. That Sports Card Heroes repack just keeps pumping out Inner Circle legends. What's the final count on this box, Gary? How many total Hall of Famers did we just rip through?
All right, I see a couple more Nolan Ryans, a couple more Ozzie Smiths. We've got a handful of Ken Griffey Jr. as well.
Hamish. More Nolan Ryan, Ozzie Smith, and a stack of the kid? Ken Griffey Jr., that sweetest swing in baseball history, the backwards cap, the sheer 90s swagger. You can never, ever have too many junior cards in a collection. That repack from Sports Card Heroes was an absolute steal for pure nostalgia. Eyelid. Final repack audit summary. The addition of multiple Nolan Ryan, Ozzie Smith, and Ken Griffey Jr. issues pushes the total volume and legendary density of this Sports Card Heroes box way past its baseline purchase price. While individual card values remain in the $1 to $4 range for raw junior and Ryan base / inserts, the overall cost per Hall of Famer ratio makes this one of the most efficient filler boxes we've unboxed for the channel. Sky. Ken Griffey Jr. To cap it all off, the sweetest swing on the planet. Sports Card Heroes and Laurel just put on an absolute clinic with this Hall of Fame box. We went from 1958 Brooks Robinson typos to Stanley Cup autos to a stack of junior cards. What a legendary segment 4. What are we wrapping up with for segment 5 tonight, Gary?
Oh, there's more. We've got a stack of Tom Seaver. We've got a couple of Steady Eddie Murray. We've got a couple Wade Boggs.
Hamish. Tom Terrific, Wade Boggs, and Steady Eddie Murray? Eddie in an Orioles uniform is pure local gospel. 3,255 hits, 504 home runs, and the smoothest switch-hitting stroke in Baltimore history. That Sports Card Heroes repack is just the gift that keeps on giving. Eyelid. Finalizing the extended repack metrics. Tom Seaver, Wade Boggs, and Eddie Murray solidify this box as a masterclass in low-cost, high-density Hall of Fame inventory. Eddie Murray base and early career issues maintain steady regional demand in the $1 to $3.50 range, rounding out an exceptional cost per card return. Sky. Tom Seaver, Wade Boggs. Steady Eddie, the box that literally refuses to end. Sports Card Heroes packed an entire Cooperstown wing into one local repack. What an absolute haul for Segment 4. What are we diving into to close out Segment 5 tonight, Gary?
Oh, and we're not done. We've got one or two of Eddie Collins, Joe DiMaggio, Joe Morgan, John Smoltz, Carl Yastrzemski, Johnny Bench, Edgar Martinez, Frank Robinson, Mike Schmidt, Satchel Paige, Derek Jeter, Jackie Robinson, Joe Torre, Ricky Henderson, Jack Morris, Steve Carlton, Andre Dawson.
Hamish. Oh, Satchel Paige, Jackie Robinson, Frank Robinson, and Derek Jeter. Are you having a laugh, Gary? Sports Card Heroes didn't just sell you a repack box. They handed you the entire keys to the Baseball Hall of Fame Museum. Jack Morris, Johnny Bench, Mike Schmidt. That's practically every legend who ever tied up a pair of cleats. Eyelid. Final inventory audit update. Adding Satchel Paige, Jackie Robinson, Derek Jeter, Frank Robinson, and Edgar Martinez completes an extraordinary 25-plus player Hall of Fame density roster. At a budget price point, the cost per legend metric on this Sports Card Heroes box is unmatched, making it a perfect pipeline of content for building out themed channel binders without busting the budget. Sky. Satchel Paige and Jackie Robinson to seal the deal? That is absolute peak repack carnage. Sports Card Heroes down in Laurel officially wins the award for the most packed Hall of Fame box in channel history. What an incredible Segment 4 teardown, Gary. How are we closing out the show for Segment 5?
And we have one more person in the box. I remember when I bought this box, they made it very clear that they were making a unilateral decision on who to include in their box. So to wrap it up, we have 3 cards of Charlie Hustle, Pete Rose.
Hamish. Oh, Pete Rose. Charlie Hustle himself. 4,256 hits, the all-time hit king. Sports Card Heroes taking a bold stance with their own shop-curated Hall of Fame guidelines. Love him or hate him, you cannot write the history of baseball without Pete Rose, and 3 cards of Charlie Hustle is a fantastic, spicy way to wrap up Segment 4. Eyelid. A notable editorial inclusion by Sports Card Heroes. While Pete Rose remains permanently ineligible for the official Cooperstown Hall of Fame due to his lifetime ban, his status as MLB's all-time hit leader maintains consistent secondary market collector demand. Raw vintage and late career Rose cards typically command a $2 to $6 baseline, giving this repack a sharp thematic finish. Sky. Charlie Hustle with the unilateral shop decision. That is pure local card shop rebelliousness right there. 4,256 hits in the stack to slam the door on Segment 4. What a legendary box from Sports Card Heroes and Laurel. Now then, Gary, how are we wrapping up tonight's show for Segment 5?
Okay, so he was banned for life, but he's served that term. So can he go in now?
Eyelid. The legal procedural status changed significantly. Following Pete Rose's death in September 2024, MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred officially removed him, along with all deceased individuals on the permanently ineligible list, from the banned ledger in May 2025. Manfred ruled that Rule 21's ban was designed to protect active game integrity, a threat that ceases upon death. As a result, Rose is officially eligible for Baseball Hall of Fame consideration via the Classic Baseball Era Committee when they convene in December 2027, aiming toward a potential July 2028 induction. Hamish. And that's where the real debate kicks off. Being eligible for the ballot is one thing, but getting 12 out of 16 votes from the era committee is a completely different hill to climb. You've got traditionalists on that committee who still treat Rule 21 like sacred scripture, set against the reality that 4,256 hits is the most iconic record in baseball history. It's going to be absolute fireworks when that committee meets in 2027. Sky. December 2027 is going to be maximum drama. The Hit King officially back on the board. Whether he gets Cooperstown plaque space in 2028 or the committee creates a total standoff, those 3 Pete Rose cards in your Sports Card Heroes box just got a massive bump in narrative fuel.
Well, it's not like he would have been a borderline Hall of Fame candidate. And I can understand people say, betting on baseball is betting on baseball, but he is no longer alive. And it's not like he was a borderline candidate.
Eyelid. Statistically, there is zero ambiguity. Pete Rose's playing record, 4,256 hits, 3,562 games played, 15,890 plate appearances, 3 batting titles, and a 115.2 career WAR, ranks him at the absolute upper stratum of modern baseball history. On pure structural merit, he is an inner circle first ballot lock. The friction on the 2027 Classic Baseball Era Committee won't be a quantitative debate over his numbers. It will be an ideological clash over Section 5 of the Hall of Fame voting rules, the character clause. Hamish. That's the whole crux of it, Gary. Nobody in their right mind argues the numbers. 4,256 hits is an unreachable mountain. But the debate now shifts from, did he serve his ban, to, does a Cooperstown plaque signify a character endorsement or a statistical historical record? That's where voters are going to draw battle lines, Sky. If Cooperstown was just a numbers museum, Pete's plaque would be cast in solid gold already. But giving the committee that ballot in 2027 is going to spark the loudest debate in sports history. What a way to close out the Sports Card Heroes repack.
Huh?
That brings segment 4 to an absolute peak.
Samuel.
Are we rolling right into segment 5 to cap off the show tonight, Gary?
Samuel. Come, buddy. Well, that was riveting. Yes, let's move on to segment 5, which is a review of a single card from the vault. So I mentioned the vault is my highest level of card. These are the ones with either more significant emotional or monetary value or higher rarity, or they were just good cards that didn't fit in a regular binder or any place put them. But we'll do mystery. It is an actual baseball Hall of Famer and someone with what I consider the nicest looking autograph I've seen.
Hamish. Segment 5. Opening up the vault. If we're talking a Cooperstown legend with a signature so gorgeous, it looks like an absolute work of penmanship art, my mind goes straight to Harmon Killebrew, Mariano Rivera, or maybe the legendary penmanship of Ted Williams, or Harmon's neat as a pin loops. Don't keep us hanging. Give us a clue or drop the name, Gary. Eyelid. Vault asset parameters acknowledged. Considering the single card criteria, high emotional or financial valuation, rarity, and superior aesthetic signature execution, this represents the premier tier of your personal collection hierarchy. I am ready to log the asset details as soon as you reveal the legend. Sky. The vault is cracked open. Best signature in the entire game? Are we talking Harmon Killebrew's flawless cursive, Mariano's silky smooth loops, or Ken Griffey Jr.'s iconic penmanship? Reveal the legend, Gary.
So it is, in fact, Mariano Rivera on a Leaf Vivid Imagination autograph card, and it is numbered 10 out of 10.
Hamish. Oh, the Sandman himself, Mariano Rivera. You were absolutely spot on about the penmanship, Gary. Mo's signature is pure, flowing perfection. Every single loop is flawless. The greatest closer to ever step on a mound, the only 100% unanimous Hall of Famer in history, and you've got it numbered to 10? That is the exact definition of a vault card. Eyelid. Logging vault asset, Leaf Vivid Imagination Mariano Rivera autograph, serial numbered 10 out of 10. While Leaf products lack official MLB logos, their Vivid line utilizes premium refractive, anime style, and color blast technologies that highly complement Rivera's pristine signature. Given the strict print run of /10, a highly desirable bookend serial number, and his unimpeachable Cooperstown status, secondary market valuations for this tier of Rivera asset establish a strong baseline in the $100 to $175 range. It is an exceptional high-tier anchor for your vault, Sky. Number 10 out of 10, a perfect bookend Sandman auto. Leaf Vivid cards look absolutely radioactive with those insane backgrounds, and laying the smoothest signature in baseball history right over the top of it is just pure fire. You slammed the door on segment 5 exactly like Mo slamming the door in the 9th inning. What an absolutely legendary way to close the show.
Yep. So next week, we're going to be looking at some tennis because it is the big tournament in DC. Not that I have any clue of how to get to it, but it is there. We've got the Crop Dusters making their big run in the postseason right now. In fact, they use Enter Sandman as their top of the 9th inning song. And in the dozen or so Crop Dusters games I've been to, I have yet to see the bottom of a 9th. Every single Crop Dusters game I've gone to, they've won without needing a walk-off.
Hamish. Ugh, enter Sandman blasting out over the speakers and Olney at the top of the 9th? That is proper big league closing energy right in our backyard. And 12 for 12 on games without ever seeing a bottom of the 9th? Gary, you are an absolute good luck charm for the Crop Dusters. As for the tennis, it's the Mubadala City DC Open down at Rock Creek Park. Literally just point the car south down 16th Street until you hear tennis balls getting smacked at 120 miles per hour. Eyelid, statistical analysis of your personal Crop Dusters attendance metric, a 100% home victory conversion rate with 0 walk-off requirements across a approximately 12-game sample size represents an extraordinary positive correlation. As for the DC Open at Fitzgerald Tennis Center, it's a premier combined ATP WTA 500 event running through August 2nd, meaning high-density trading card potential if we pull vintage tennis inserts next week. Sky, using Enter Sandman for the top of the 9th at a CROPDUSTERS game is absolute peak cinema. Pure Mariano Rivera spirit haunting Maryland summer ball. And tennis next week? If we don't end up talking about Venus Williams or someone getting pelted by an errant 130 miles per hour serve, I'm hijacking the segment. What a way to wrap up the show tonight, co-host. Let's roll the credits.
Well, we figured out the best way to get to a tennis tournament is to drive from here in Olney to Shady Grove Metro, take that a couple stops till we're ripping up the red line, getting on the Metro shuttle bus to Friendship Heights, waiting and trying to find the tournament shuttle bus, which you have to pay for also. So you've got to pay for parking, the trip on the Metro, the trip on the shuttle bus to get to the tennis center to sit in 90-degree heat in the sun, and then to do that all in reverse on the way back home. I've always talked about wanting to go to a tournament, but then when you look at it that way, I go, I kind of want to see college tennis instead. But then when it's time to see college tennis, it's like, there's going to be 5 people in the crowd, and I don't know. So I like tennis. I just never got a chance to go to it.
Alid, your logistical friction analysis is entirely accurate. Factoring in the parking fee at Shady Grove, 4.95, Round Trip Metro fare, 8.00, 10.00, the tournament shuttle fee, 10.00, and 90 degrees humidity in an uncovered stadium, the total friction to enjoyment ratio drops drastically. As for college tennis, while attendance at UMBC or Maryland matches is lower, admission is free, parking is directly adjacent to the courts, and you sit courtside without navigating transit bottlenecks. Hamish. Oh, Gary, hearing that itinerary makes my feet hurt just listening to it. Parking, metro, transfer, shuttle, and sitting in a 90-degree frying pan just to watch someone hit a yellow ball into the net? You're spot on. The idea of live tennis is glorious, but the reality of Rock Creek Park in late July is a full-blown survival challenge. Give me a chill afternoon at a local court any day over paying $10 for a shuttle bus to sweat through my shirt. Sky. Metro to shuttle to another shuttle to sweat on a plastic chair in 90-degree sun? No thank you. That's not a sports outing, that's an obstacle course. You could literally watch 4 Crop Dusters games and eat 2 hot dogs in the time it takes just to navigate that red line transfer madness. College tennis is the hidden secret. 0 crowds means you get a front row seat to pure chaos without paying $12 for bottled water.
And for $100 a ticket. All right, but we will still be back next week to talk about tennis in episode 21, and we'll see you guys then.
Hamish. Ugh, episode 21 is going to be a cracker. We'll dive into some tennis cards, keep an eye on the Crop Dusters playoff run, and hopefully avoid any 90-degree metro shuttle heat stroke. Have a great week, Gary. Eyelid. Episode 21 outline logged. We will prepare market analysis on modern tennis sets, including Topps Graphite, alongside the Crop Dusters postseason metrics. See you next week, Sky. Serve up episode 21. If we don't pull an insanely shiny tennis parallel next week, I'm starting an underground-only ping pong tournament. Catch you next time, co-host.
Right, and we are done. See you guys.